Alright, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. This lesson today. Hello everybody and welcome back to the YouTube channel. For this lesson today, I'm going to show you guys how I draw graffiti letters, and specifically the graffiti letter S. So in this tutorial, basically, I don't want to show you the way you see most tutorials where they're like, you draw a line and then you make it thick like a bubble letter. I don't really want to be showing you guys how to do bubble letters because it's not that difficult. I'd rather show you something which I generally did from the beginning and I still do now, and how I break down how I draw letters. So enough said, I'm just gonna jump straight into the video and hopefully you get something from it. So let's go. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do when doing one of my letters is think about it in parts. Okay, instead of thinking about it as a whole, I'm going to break it into different sections and treat it in the same aspect you treat Lego pieces. You're building it together, block by block, until you get to a final shape. So let's just say we all know what an S shape is like. That's an S. If you want to make it a bit more funky, you can draw an S also like this. So let's just say that's the basic shape in our head, is this S, okay? So I'll even draw it lightly for you. Okay, S, really simple, really quick. Okay, I'm going to start with the first shape, which is one of the first building blocks, and I would just start off by putting in a rectangle in place. And this can change to wherever you want to place it, where you think it look good. But for now, this tutorial, I'm just going to put a shape there and show you what I do next. So from that basic shape, the S comes up here, so draw the same sort of rectangle shape, but maybe a bit bigger for the top end. That clicks into place here. Second shape. This shape pretty much writes itself in the middle. So shape number 3, which clicks into place, and this is where the basic, and it's just starting off, comes into place. Don't think too much about the details just yet, just think about putting in blocks, different building blocks in place, and then we can later on add a few little techniques in place. This line here is going around, so I'm just gonna take this shape similar and throw it back like so. Not a lot of detail, just simple block shapes. And this is coming up that way. I'm actually going to take this shape again and do another rectangular shape like so. Okay, so that's the basic foundation down. It ain't looking like much now, but this is what you need to build upon. So what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 shapes there. And then you've got to look at your letter and see where things are a bit off balance. So there's a little gap in the middle here, and there's a lot of overhang in this section. So I might put another rectangle up here. I'm not even sure where I'm going to connect it yet, but I'm just filling in the space up there. And here I'm going to connect that top bridge of the S to the bottom, which also gives me a good indication then that I might move this up a little bit too. And bring it down. Okay guys, I'm feeling like that's filling up in place. And now once you have the basics down, now it's a good time for you to move on to a few ridges and put in way more detail. So where these two pieces connect here, you want to imagine you can almost clip the two together. So if I darken this line and bring that out a tiny bit, I can have a little ridge, and then follow this line down, which you put down in the first place. And now, depending on what you finally want to achieve, is then the place where you can start changing where you add stuff and connect. So from this letter to this letter, I see a good opportunity now to connect the two. So I'm going to do that. Just add a little notch onto the end of that shape. So you still keep the basic shape at the beginning, the original, and I'm just adding to it. Okay, and I sort of feel like this is a big shape just to be left there. So I'm going to just break it up. right through the middle. If you ever feel that with a shape you originally it looks too big or it's too bulky, always remember you can break it into smaller pieces. Personally, I don't like to go too small a piece because it looks can look a bit like too much is going on. Like, I definitely apply the rule of less is more here. Break that there, and then sort of give it an indication that it falls into that shape, so it's falling back in, and it's this new shape completely back here. I'm going to show you something else here as well. I want to keep it simple, but I'll show you something. Right now the shape's quite stagnant. They're quite still. They're quite blocky. There's no loose lines really happening apart from the middle part. So say from here I want to bring something in. Sometimes I'll just let my pencil go quite loose and just bring it in and flick it back out, and then you can even put another rectangular shape here that will connect to that shape. And then you've got a bit more of a contrast of line work happening, thick and thin. And also with the basics down, you can start seeing where lines overlap. So let's say up here, I want this bit to be more forward from the top shape. So I actually take the line through and bring it into the shape. And this is where line thicknesses come in, and it's quite important, is that's the flick of that shape. So I want it to be thicker towards the point and a lot thinner coming down to the end of the point, like this. It gives you a really nice, clean, sharp effect, and when you're actually spray painting it, you come to painting this letter, that's when you got to use the cutback or cutting back letters with the paint. You get real sharp lines, and it makes your work look, if you're not cutting back, it makes your work look 10 times tidier, and you can get away with a lot of amateur mistakes just by cutting lines back and playing with your line thicknesses. That's one thing I stress on my channel all the time. You probably heard me say it before, is work your line thicknesses, thick to thin, thick to thin. It gives the whole image a whole new dimension. So here I'm just blackening a few of the original shapes. I'm not even changing them too much, I'm just sticking with it. And now let's say from this middle bit, connect the two here. Like so. And just do the same on the other end. This is just a bit of a filler shape to fill that space in. Now from this shape here too, I'm actually just going to bring a line in so it can come off the front of that S there, and just add on a bit more going on. So the same loose lines as this part, I'm just going to, yeah, keep it loose. Like so. And then basically you just want to go on the whole letter from the basic shapes and change things as you go. It's just like sculpting. You want to get the foundation down in place before you start building up on it, and definitely to give your letter a lot more flow to it. So here I might bring this in a tiny bit just because I feel like it's a bit too far out. Still sticking to the first shape we put down. Add another little notch here. Bring that down. And the same as this part here, I'm bringing this and overlapping it and indicating that way. So the line thickness will obviously get smaller towards the end of the line and thicker during the middle. Okay, now here I feel there's like a little bit of not too much going on, it's quite simple. So I might just throw in another random shape, which is just adding on. Like I said, like Lego, I'm just connecting it on. And I'm going to go for like, let's say it's like a square shape. Maybe a little flick. Just a square. I'm actually just going to put a square in place. And it gives me an indication of how I can join the two. So here I might ramp it in towards this letter. Like so. And then from here, I might kind of do the same and ramp it back in to this. I might actually have like an overhang bit, why not? I connect in. Like so. Just change the letter up completely. Alright guys, I'm just going to time lapse now, just going to play the line thicknesses, thicken bits up and thin bits, and then I'll explain a little bit more of how I achieved it. So let's go on that. Okay guys, and that is just simply how I break down and do my graffiti letters. This is just a basic graffiti letter S. If you see my style, this is sort of in the middle range of how complicated it can go. But I just really wanted to show you guys a little bit more than, like I said at the beginning, the whole bubble letter thing. I know a lot of you guys are really good at art already, so I don't want to insult you by being like, yeah, let's do some bubble letters. But this is how I do it: break it into parts and connecting the parts. And when I'm connecting them, I'm just doing a few lines to symbolize the connection of the letters. And that's it guys, that's just a simple graffiti letter S. Anything else you guys want to see from me or want me to do, just let me know in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to do so. A massive thank you to everybody on Patreon, because without you guys I wouldn't be able to find the time to create more resources like this and show you guys stuff. I'll leave a link to that. Join if you want, if not, that's cool. And until next time, stay safe. Peace.